Hello everyone. In this video, I will discuss figure of speech based on construction. So let's start. In this series, the first figure of speech will be Hendiadys. The word has come from a Greek phrase which means one by dint of two. In this figure of speech, two nouns or a noun are joined by the conjunction and, which could have been better expressed by a noun qualified by an adjective. So, when we modify the sentence, he drew attentive audience into he drew audience and attention. It is known as Hendiadys. Few examples are number one, I am fed up with life and suffering. Life and suffering means suffering life. I am fed up with suffering life. But in Hendiadys, you can say like this, I am fed up with life and suffering. The second example will be, the home was full of joy and song, means joyous song. Gladness and tidings spread all around, means glad tidings. Here is a poem for an example. Thou still unravished bride of quietness, thou foster child of silence and slow time. तो जहां पर आपको एंड कंजक्शन का यूज मिले किसी लाइन में, तो वहां पर कौन सा फिगर ऑफ स्पीच होगा? That will be Hendiadys. Okay. Next is chiasmus. The word has come from Greek word chiasmos, which means placing crosswise. It refers to a grammatical structure that inverts a previous phrase. It is generally done for emphasis or for emotional effect. For example, beauty is truth, truth beauty. मतलब जो फर्स्ट लाइन होगी उसी को क्रॉस करके सेकेंड लाइन बना देते हैं. ओके, दैट इज chiasmus. We that live to please must please to live. Fair is foul and foul is fair. And the fourth is, the mind is its own place and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. Next is ellipsis. Ellipsis is the grammatical omission of a part of a sentence for the sake of brevity, elegance, or emphasis. For example, our proposal has been rejected. Dot 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 means यहाँ पर ये जो statement है that is incomplete statement. हम ज़्यादातर इन ellipsis figure of speech का भी use written communication में करते हैं. Okay. Next is, I have rejected the offer for good reason dash dash dash. मतलब इधर reason जो है वो define नहीं किया गया है. Let's meet up this afternoon. Okay. Next is zeugma. The word zeugma has come from the Greek word which means yoking together. In this figure of speech, a single word, generally a verb or an adjective, is connected with two words, generally nouns. For example, he killed the snake and the frog. The feast and noon grew high. Not marble, not the gilded monuments of Princess shall outlive this powerful rhyme. Kill the boys and the luggage. Means यहाँ पर he killed the snake and the frog. दोनों चीजों का यूज कर रहा है. ठीक है. The figure of speech is a single word, generally a verb or an adjective is connected with two words. He killed the snake and the frog. Kill जो एक verb है वो दो नाउन के लिए यूज हुआ है, मीन्स स्नेक एंड फ्रॉग के लिए. इसी तरह से सेकेंड एग्जाम्पल है, द फीस्ट एंड न्यून ग्रू हाई. ग्रू जो एक वर्ब है वो फीस्ट एंड नून दो के लिए यूज हुआ है. ठीक है. मीन्स एक वर्ब दो नाउन के लिए जब यूज होगा तो उस केस में वहां पर कौन सा फिगर ऑफ स्पीच होगा? ज़्यूगमा. ओके. नेक्स्ट इज पॉलीसिंडेटोन एंड एसिंडेटोन. So polysyndeton consists in the excessive use of conjunctions in close succession. It slows down the pace of a line and either creates a sense of breathless abundance or forces the reader to pay attention to each item in the list. For example, that hoard and sleep and feed and know not to me. Means आप देख लीजिए लाइन से जो है एंड का यूज हो रहा है, कौन से कंजक्शन का यूज हो रहा है, एंड कंजक्शन का रिपीटेडली एक ही लाइन में यूज हो रहा है, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट इज आई बॉट फिश एंड मीट एंड वेजिटेबल्स एंड चिलीज एंड ऑरेंजेस एंड स्वीट्स। नेक्स्ट इज द आइस वाज ऑल अराउंड, इट क्रैक्ड एंड रोड एंड कोल्ड, ठीक है। दैट इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ पॉलीसिंडेटोन। एसिंडेटोन is just the opposite of polysyndeton. Asyndetone removes conjunction and uses only commas. It speeds up the pace of a line, emphasizing the relation between the items in a list. For example, from art, more various are the blessings sent, wealth, commerce, honor, liberty, and content. Next example is a speck, a mist, a shape, I wist. Okay, so I hope you will understand the both of the differences. Next is hypobaton or inversion. Hypobaton consists in the inversion of transposition of the normal grammatical order of words in a sentence for the sake of emphasis. For example, him who disobeys me disobeys. मीन्स हाइपोबेटन या फिर इन्वर्जन का मतलब ये है कि किसी भी कोई भी स्टेटमेंट को, किसी भी सेंटेंस को हम उसका जो ग्रामेटिकल ऑर्डर है उसको चेंज कर देते हैं, ठीक है। तो हिम हु डिसओबेज मी डिसओबेज, ये आपको लग भी रहा होगा कि अजीब सा सेंटेंस है, तो इसका करेक्ट ग्रामेटिकल स्ट्रक्चर क्या होगा, हु डिसओबेज हिम डिसओबेज मी, ठीक है। दैट इज द करेक्ट ग्रामेटिकल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ हिम हु डिसओबेज मी डिसओबेज। ये सिर्फ किसी भी अगर हम यूज कर रहे हैं, अपने ऑथर के यूज कर रहा है किसी वर्क में, तो सिर्फ वो अपनी उस लाइन पर इम्फेसिस क्रिएट करने के लिए करता है। नेक्स्ट इज स्ट्रेंज फिट्स ऑफ पैशन हैव आई नोन। नेक्स्ट इज just are the ways of God and justifiable to men. Number 4 is green pastures she views in the midst of the day. Next figure of speech in this connection is anaphora. In this figure of speech, the first few words of sentence are repeated in the sentence or in subsequent clauses. It is often used in ballads and songs and oratory. For example, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was the season of light, it was the season of darkness, it was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. ठीक है, मतलब repeat हो रहा है, it was, so that is called as anaphora. Next example will be 5 years have passed, 5 summers with the length of 5 long winters and again are here. Next is the ice was here, the ice was there and the ice was all around. ठीक है, अगर किसी आपको लाइन में, किसी पोइट्री की लाइन में या किसी ड्रामा की लाइन में अगर आपको रिपीटेडली किसी दो क्लॉज, किसी एक क्लॉजेस का यूज हर एक लाइन पर मिले, तो वहां पर कौन सा फिगर ऑफ स्पीच होगा, एनाफोरा विल बी देयर। ओके, नेक्स्ट इज एपिफोरा. So this figure consists in the repetition of words or phrases at the end of successive clauses. Anaphora में क्या था, एट द इनिशियल लेवल, मतलब जब स्टार्ट हो रही है लाइन तब वहां पर रिपीटेटिव क्लॉजेस यूज हो रहे हैं, बट एपिफोरा में क्या है, एट द एंड ऑफ द सक्सेसिव क्लॉजेस, sentences or lines of words for the sake of emphasis or greater energy. For example, wit is dangerous, eloquence is dangerous, a talent for observation is dangerous, everything is dangerous that has efficacy and vigor for its characteristics. Next is the stages are wrong, the great thinkers are wrong, scientists are wrong, philosophers are wrong. So I hope you will understand the difference between anaphora and epiphora. Next is eroticist or interrogation. That is very easy. It is a figure of speech for of asking a question that suggests its answer as well. This is generally used to arouse sentiment, fellow feelings, and to add charm to oratory. For example, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Next, who hath not seen thee oft amid thy store? Number 3, If you prick us, do we not bleed? Number 4, should there be one law for men and another for women? ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर क्या है, इस फिगर ऑफ स्पीच में आपका जो क्वेश्चन है उसमें साथ ही साथ आंसर भी छुपा हुआ है. ठीक है, तो दैट इज नोन एज एरोटिसिस और इंटरोगेशन. So that is all about in this lecture. Thank you everyone. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you again.